How's it going, everyone? Today is Tuesday, which means, oops, using the wrong mic. Hold on a second. What is up, everyone? Today is Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A. As always, I'm your host, Paul J Lipsky. So I make a lot of videos here on my channel about different ways to drop ship onto different marketplaces like eBay, Facebook Marketplace. If that interests you, make sure to subscribe and check out some of the videos. Lots of resources in the description down below. But if you have any questions that aren't covered in any of the videos you've seen, or just want to ask me anything about dropshipping, come to one of these live streams. I do them every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Jump into the live chat and ask me some questions. All right, let's jump right into it. Let's not waste any time. If you appreciate that, give the video a big thumbs up. Let's see what people have. George says, hey Paul, when searching for a product, what is the right picture to choose with background or blank picture? What do you think? Great question. So what George is talking about is when you actually go to list the product, there's a lot of different pictures available. And for some of those pictures, you will see the product actually kind of like in its element, how it's used. But for others, it just has a blank background, so you can really have the item stand out. And as I'm talking, I'm trying to pull up Walmart to kind of show you an example. I think I just saw one earlier today, but a lot of them have it. So for example, let's go ahead and share my screen. You can see that this product right here, it's this bookshelf, and has this blank background right here. So that's one. And then this one really shows it like in its element, how it's actually going to be used. So George wants to know which one is the right one to choose. Generally speaking, what I like to do is if this is the main image right here, like the first one, then everyone else who's dropshipping is going to be using this image. So if you want to stand out and look a little bit different, use this one instead. As long as the image that you choose as the main one being the first one people are going to see when they see the search results, this is the only one they're going to see. That main image, as long as it fully shows the product and what it is accurately. So for instance, this one right here, I wouldn't use this one because it shows 3 and people might get confused. This one though, on the other hand, shows one of them. So I think it's a good representation of what the product is, and you're going to stand out from competitors who are using just this one in there. Now, I'm making a video that should be coming out, I don't know, the next few weeks about kind of a cool new way that you can get new product images for your listings very easily. So make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that, because a large problem that people have with dropshipping is that you are limited to the same images that everyone else has here. So it's harder to stand out because everyone's using the same images. So I'm going to show you a way that you can get some different images potentially. So make sure to keep a lookout for that video. Daryl says, hey Paul, which antivirus, malware protection, and complete protection do you recommend to be as safe as possible doing drop shipping? So I'm really glad you asked this, Daryl, because not a lot of people think about this stuff. Now, coincidentally, yet again, I have a video coming out that's sort of about this. I don't talk in that video about malware protection or antivirus stuff, but I do talk about ways to protect your eBay account, your Facebook account, your Amazon account, and different ways to kind of lock it down so that people can't hack into it. So you definitely want to check out that video when you get it, Daryl. But in general, when it comes to things like malware and viruses and things like that, I use all Apple products. They tend to have less of that than Windows computers. And the most important thing is I always keep them up to date. Keeping them up to date is going to help protect you against new viruses that are being developed and patch different issues with software that can lead to vulnerabilities. So it's really important that you always keep your operating systems up to date, turn on automatic updates. And Also, make sure that you're using like a good reputable browser that has a lot of that stuff built in as well. You can also try like a VPN. Some of them have that built in as well, to some sort of like malware protection, antivirus protection as well. And just in general, when you're on websites, make sure that it has on the top left here this lock icon. This means that the connection is secure, and they're using HTTPS on the website, which is going to protect you as well. Then there's other just stuff I'm sure you've heard of, like don't click on links in emails that are unfamiliar. Make sure the emails are actually coming from people that you recognize. You know, kind of be smart when it comes to that stuff. A good question. And again, there's a video coming out with some really useful information. Okay, Angie says, I love all your videos so much value information. I would like to know if you have ever heard of Bistrust Executive Services. They're supposed to help you reinstate your eBay. No, I don't know them. Yeah, just be wary of any service that's promising to reinstate your eBay account. You know, there's not really any oversight to those businesses, and depending on the way that you pay them, it could be hard for you to get your money back if they don't deliver on their promise. So just be careful jumping into that. When people are in distress because of something like that, that's where a lot of scammers come in to try to rip you off. So I'm not saying all of them are like that, but just be careful. Kared says, hey Paul, do you show us somewhere in your Facebook Marketplace course how to use your Chrome extension to add products to AutoDS and then from AutoDS to Facebook Marketplace, or is that out of the realm within the course material? So the way the Chrome extension works, I have a Chrome extension called the Dropshipping Titans Marketplace Helper. It's linked up in the description, or you can just Google it. And what it will do is it helps you list products onto Facebook Marketplace. Now, the way it works is you can either go into Walmart, and from Walmart, you can just click the Chrome extension and it will list the product from Walmart onto Facebook Marketplace. But what you can also do is you can add the product to AutoDS first. Once it's in AutoDS, you can click on the Chrome extension and it will copy everything from AutoDS and paste it into a new listing on Facebook Marketplace. So any website that AutoDS works with, you can plug it into AutoDS first and then use the Chrome extension to list from AutoDS to Facebook. But what the Chrome extension doesn't do is it doesn't take an item from like Walmart and add it to AutoDS. That functionality doesn't exist with it. It doesn't need to exist because all you have to do is plug the item into AutoDS and then it's in there. You don't need my Chrome extension to do it. Hey, what's up, Mike? Thanks for being here. How can we dropship from AliExpress? Good question. I just released a video about this last week. So check out that video. I go into how to dropship from AliExpress onto eBay, kind of an automated system to be able to do that. Follow-up question to that from Young Trades. Is dropshipping from AliExpress good? I just don't have any problems with fulfilling orders and the delivery. So as I talk about in that video, dropshipping from AliExpress to eBay has its problems. Primarily, I don't like the long shipping times. If it's going to take a long time for the item to get delivered to the customers are going to get upset. Now, when you list the items, you're going to put on the eBay listing, hey, this item is going to take a long time to get delivered. It's coming from China. You're going to be honest about that. But some customers are still going to complain about it. Now, the good thing is that AliExpress does have some US warehouses. So if you only select those products, then what's going to happen is you can get the customers their items much faster. So those are the kind of issues you're going to run into. If you want to do AliExpress, I would try just using US warehouses at first. It does limit the number of products that you have available. It's also going to usually raise the price of the items a bit, but again, the customers will hopefully be getting their items much faster. So that's kind of a best of both worlds kind of scenario. Lisa says, what is the process for returns on products that are ordered on Amazon? Oh, it's super easy, Lisa. So all you're going to do is, if you've ever ordered an item for yourself from Amazon and you've returned it, it's the same kind of thing. So what you want to do is you want to actually go onto Amazon.com and go to the orders and select that you want to return your item. And when it asks you how you want to return it, say you want to do it through UPS, or if there's another shipping method, you want to choose that one, and then read the instructions. Now it does get a little bit complicated because ideally you're going to get a shipping label, but getting a shipping label sometimes is not an option on Amazon. So sometimes it's just you have to drop it off at a UPS store. So play around with it, because a lot of times you can kind of change it around and then you can get a shipping label. That's what you ideally want. But either way, if you get the shipping label, just download it to your computer and then send it to the customer through the messenger or on the actual return case on eBay or Amazon, wherever. And if it's another way to do it, then just send them those instructions. Now, once Amazon refunds you, which they usually do pretty quickly after the item's been sent out, then you can refund the customer. All right. F. Ramal says, hey, I'm from the UK. I tried CJ Dropshipping, but it's always more expensive than others to dropship. What do you think about it and how to really find profitable items to CJ Dropship in CJ Dropshipping? So CJ Dropshipping is a website that's very similar to like AliExpress or Banggood. There's some things I really like about them, like they will package all items together. You're dealing with CJ Dropshipping directly and not usually with individual sellers like you see with AliExpress or Alibaba. So there are benefits using CJ over something like AliExpress, but it's true that they have less items than AliExpress. So my basic advice is just keep looking. The deals are there, the opportunities, I should say, are there. You just got to keep looking. I found lots of good items to dropship from CJ Dropshipping, but you have to spend some time and actually look. Is not the best advice, but it is honestly the best advice to give. Also, try looking for other people that are already dropshipping from CJ Dropshipping and see what items they're selling. And I guess just to say what really is the best advice is you don't have to be selling, and you really shouldn't be selling the exact same products as other people. So if you see someone's dropshipping from anywhere, but like in this case, CJ Dropshipping, and they have some items that they've been selling, you don't have to sell the exact same one. Find something that's very similar and sell that one instead, because you know that product is generally going to do well because there's a similar one that does well. And it's just a matter of you finding like another one like that that's going to do well. And that way you're not being in direct competition, but you're still kind of validating that that product works. Okay, Live says, how can we separate products that are being sold by third parties on Walmart? Well, when you're on Walmart, when you're doing product research, looking for products to sell from Walmart, there are products that are just being shipped and sold directly by Walmart. So that's like when you're looking at it, let me return back to my example here. So when you're looking at it, you can kind of see that it says, where'd it go? This is not a good example. Like down here, like this one right here, let's open up this one. And you can see it doesn't really say who's selling it, and that's because Walmart is selling it. So that's the ideal situation, because that means that this item is just gonna overall have a better kind of experience for you as someone who's buying from Walmart. If you buy from Walmart directly, they are going to ship out on time. They're gonna have excellent customer service. You're gonna get tracking numbers. You know everything's gonna work because Walmart has that reputation. We know that they do well. But some of these other items, like this one right here, when you look at it, it says it's sold by someone else, sold and shipped by someone else. This means that this company is selling it and they're handling logistics as well. So that doesn't have the same reputation as Walmart. So what I encourage you to do is look at the seller reviews. If they're good, then it's just like buying from someone else on eBay or someone else on Amazon, right? You're seeing the reviews, so you know, okay, it's probably okay for me to drop ship from them. But otherwise, it's just a matter of you looking and seeing which ones are sold by Walmart and which ones aren't. A giveaway, or you know, a good rule of thumb is if it says save with Walmart Plus here, then that means they probably are Walmart that's fulfilling the order themselves, like sold and shipped by Walmart. It says it right there as well. Whereas if it doesn't say that, it's not a guarantee. Let's open up this one that doesn't say Walmart Plus. And this one says sold and shipped by some other company. But this one, you can also look for something that says pro sellers. That's going to make you feel a little bit more comfortable. The point is you don't have to immediately eliminate a seller just because they're not Walmart themselves. If they have good reviews, if they have that pro seller mark, then I would feel a lot more comfortable drop shipping from them. Do you know if Facebook Marketplace would work from the UK on the US market? I don't follow your question. What do you mean by that? Sorry, it does make sense. So you live in the UK and you want to sell on Facebook.com, like FacebookMarketplace.com. Well, yeah, you know what I mean. So that, I don't think you can do that. I'm sure people do it, but it's definitely going to be tricky. Really, Facebook Marketplace in the United States is meant for US sellers to sell on the US market. Okay. Does seller account make it more visible for buyers to see my products? Is it the same as private account? So I'm not sure what you mean by private account. I've never heard that term, but when you're selling on eBay, you can have an individual account or a seller account or a business account. Ideally, you want a business account. It's not a requirement, but generally what we've seen is that if you get a business account, there's a chance you'll get a higher limit. Whether or not it affects the visibility of your products, we just don't know that. They don't tell us that information, and we don't have like enough to validate if that's true or not. There's just too many factors. But it's possible, right? That's certainly possible. So in that case, you know, if you believe that, then you would want a business account with eBay over like an individual account. Tim says, I got a counterfeit warning the other day on an item that I see other sellers are selling with same photos and very similar titles and have sold some. Should I contact eBay? Tim, I'm sorry this happened, but it is pretty rare to get a counterfeit warning from eBay. The good news is that it is just a warning. So honestly, what I would recommend that you do is just delete those items and don't sell them. I wouldn't mess around with it. Honestly, it's just not worth risking your account. I know other people are selling it. That happens all the time, but that's just, you know, kind of almost like luck of the draw. And I would just kind of cut your losses and just don't sell that one. And there's plenty of other products out there. Hey man, good to see you. What do you mean? What are you trying to sell on Amazon? Lisa said, I was watching a YouTube video made by Zeek Analytics, and I could swear they said we can list our products for eBay on their platform. Is this correct? You may have heard that, Lisa, but let me explain. Let me break it down. So Zeek Analytics is the software that we use for product research. That's not all it does, but that's primarily what it does. It helps you find the products that you're going to sell on eBay. We also use it for Facebook Marketplace, but it's for product research. It doesn't actually list the products onto eBay or Facebook Marketplace for us. For that, we need to use another software like AutoDS. You plug an item into AutoDS, and AutoDS will list it onto eBay for you. But what you can do is you can link your Zeek Analytics account with your AutoDS account. then when you see an item in Zeek Analytics that you want to sell, you can send it over to AutoDS, who will then list it for you. So it's kind of using that connection between Zeek and AutoDS, but Zeek isn't the one actually that's listing it, if that makes sense. Sarfraz says, I opened the Facebook Marketplace account, but there is no shipping option. How to unlock that? Thank you. So new accounts on Facebook don't have the shipping option. Shipping option is when you go to sell your first item on Facebook Marketplace. It's going to ask you, hey, how are you going to deliver this to the customer? Are you going to meet up with them in person, like a local delivery, or are you going to ship it to the customer? If you have the option to ship it, that is the shipping option. That is what you want as a dropshipper. But that shipping option is not available on new accounts. It's not available on accounts outside the United States or made by people or made outside the United States either. So if you want that shipping option on a new account, you just have to wait. You have to give it time. You have to use that account, be active on it, and then you can get it unlocked later. But there's no timeline for that. I can't say, people would ask me, will it be a month, 3 months? There's no set timeline. It just periodically happens. There's a periodic check, and then it becomes unlocked. Should we tax exempt our Walmart ID? Your Walmart account? Yeah. If you have a Walmart account, you should definitely become tax exempt. It's going to save you a lot of money that you don't have to be paying. So your customers are getting charged sales tax when they buy stuff on eBay. So you shouldn't be paying sales tax to your suppliers. Some suppliers will allow you to become tax exempt, like Walmart and Amazon and Home Depot. Others, like Lowe's, don't. So just keep that in mind. It's on a case-by-case basis with the different suppliers. It's frustrating we don't have Walmart here in the UK. Yeah, but you guys have that other one, right? Costway, right? Costway is, I've heard, very similar to Walmart, like a big one that people drop ship from. So I would check that one out. Can we drop ship from Pakistan? I'm not sure. I'm not from Pakistan, but I know plenty of people that drop ship from outside the United States. I'm just not sure about Pakistan in particular. Geo says, when I started my e-commerce journey, I started drop shipping on eBay. I converted it to thrifting and selling clothes on eBay. If I open a new account with a VPN, will the second account be safe? Well, define safe would be my first question. So what is it that you are trying to do, Geo? Now, it sounds like maybe what you're trying to do is have 2 eBay accounts. But you're allowed to have 2 eBay accounts. You don't need to keep that a secret from eBay. You can have 2 different eBay accounts, no issue. So if that's all your concern is, then call eBay and say, hey, I'm going to be opening a second eBay account. I want to check if that's okay. They'll usually tell you it is, but I like to have it on record with them before you open a second account. Now, the thing is, when you open that second account, those 2 accounts will be linked together. So if one account gets suspended, the other one could get suspended as well. It's not a guarantee. Actually, honestly, most times I see people, like legitimate people who get suspended, their second account doesn't get suspended either, but it does happen, right? It could happen. So just keep that in mind that those accounts are linked. Now, if you're trying to keep those 2 accounts unlinked and separate from each other, that is very difficult, if not impossible to do these days. Basically, it used to be possible, but now because every time you sign up for an eBay account, they need your social security number, they're going to ask for it, and all your banking details and your address and your phone number. If any of that lines up with your old account, they've just been linked. So if anything happens to either of those accounts, it would affect the other one as well. The only way to keep it 100% separate is if they're owned by 2 different people with different addresses, different phone numbers, different names. A VPN like Surfshark is not enough because those are commercial VPNs. I would not use those. You would have to get like a VPS, which is like a virtual computer, virtual desktop, and that's just kind of the best way to keep it completely separate. Or use IP Burger, because that way you can get like a dedicated VPN. Track Taco. If Walmart delivers from the store, then use a service like Track Taco to generate a tracking number. Tim's question, let me know if anyone else's mind went to the same place. He says, does California have specific rules on some chemicals that cannot be shipped there? I got denied shipping a weed chemical item to California. No reason was given. So I read that, I was like, why is California restricting shipping weed chemicals when they sell weed? And I was like, Tim, why are you drop shipping weed products? And then obviously you're talking about the weeds out in your garden and chemicals to kill them. So yes, California does have something called Prop 65, I believe it's 65. That's basically some legislation that they passed a while ago where they want to keep out of their state any sort of cancer, anything that has been considered carcinogenic in the past. This is different types of plastics, different chemicals, even material in mattresses. So either what happens is they're not allowed to ship in, or they have to ship with a warning on them. So it's like a huge pain for logistics, because it's like one state that has such differing laws about what products are allowed to be shipped there compared to others. So what happens is we don't know that when we're listing products, and then we list it, people throughout the United States are buying it, and all of a sudden someone buys it from California and Home Depot won't ship it there. So it's a pain when it happens. You have a few choices. It's hard to prevent it, except some websites will tell you. I could try to find an example on like Home Depot. I'm afraid I won't be able to find an example really quickly, but I can try. But usually the best way of, it doesn't sound like the best option, but a good option is to, if it happens, if you try to ship something to California and it doesn't allow you to do it, then either delete that item from your store if it hasn't been selling anyway, or put a big warning, even in the title or definitely in the description, that says we do not ship this product to California, and it will be, we'll have to cancel your order if you order it from California. There really should be a better way to kind of prevent that from happening, but there unfortunately is not. I'm trying to see if I can find one of these right here. Yeah, sometimes it says it on websites, sometimes it doesn't. I can't find an example right now, unfortunately. Let's see. Let me try this one. Yeah, I thought maybe Roundup would say it, but it doesn't, which I'm a little surprised about. Anyway, next question. I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean by that, to be honest. Oh, okay. Yeah, then we're on the same page there. Cyberplayer says, if I remember right, you mentioned that AutoDS, oh no, sorry. He said, I do remember that you mentioned that AutoDS can fulfill your orders for you. Should you have that set up? Does that eliminate the need to hire virtual assistants? If not, disregard the last part. So AutoDS can automatically fulfill orders for you from certain suppliers, like Amazon, AliExpress, for instance. There's a few others as well. I think they're always trying to add more. Now, if you set up auto ordering, that's one less thing that you have to do yourself or hire a virtual assistant to do. I'm of the opinion, in general, that virtual assistants are fantastic, but before you get to that point, you should try to automate as much as you can with software. So get a product research software like Zeek Analytics. That's something that's going to help you find more products to list faster. And it's something that your virtual assistant is going to use if they ever do product research anyway. Use AutoDS to list products so that you can do that faster. That will then reprice them. It will restock them. It will, you can have it change prices for you. You can have it fulfill orders for you. But after that, there's still actually stuff that you or any human has to do to actually run your eBay dropshipping business. Things like responding to customer questions, things like that. Actually finding the products to sell, I would say still is something a human has to do, like product research. So you'll still need to hire a virtual assistant if you want to automate most of your business, but this is kind of delaying that time frame until you need a virtual assistant, and certainly makes it so that there's less for them to do. But even with auto ordering set up, someone still has to check to make sure it's working right, that everything's going through, that there's no customers asking to cancel orders, or different things like that. So you still need that human touch. Can I have sales tax exempt on Facebook dropshipping? Well, sales tax exempt applies when you are purchasing from a supplier. So it doesn't matter whether you're dropshipping on Facebook or eBay or Amazon or Etsy. When you're buying from Home Depot or Walmart or Amazon, you can be tax exempt when you're buying from those websites, no matter where you're selling them to. No, Shay, this doesn't matter. When using supplier sites like Walmart or Amazon, should we only dropship products with a gift option to hide invoices? Or it doesn't matter. So Amazon, I'm pretty sure always has a gift option. I've never seen it not have a gift option because Amazon's the one who's shipping it out if you're using Prime. Walmart, they don't include the price in the box, so it's irrelevant. And I don't know, people get hung up on like gift receipts with Walmart. It's not a thing. Okay, it's just like don't worry about it. They don't include the price in the box or the package, whatever the package is. If I upgrade from a personal account to a business account and let's say it didn't work for me, can I change it back to a personal account? You can change between business and personal. It is actually very difficult to do. They don't make it easy to do it. But I'm sorry, I should say you can move from a personal to a business account. It's very difficult. I've never seen anyone move from a business to a personal. I don't know why you would ever want to do that, honestly. There are benefits to a business account, and even a person can have a business account. So I don't really see the need to do that, and I don't know if you can, honestly, because I've never seen anyone try to do it. Yeah, I went straight to a business account because it is hard to switch from from personal to business. Is it a bad idea to not accept returns on both eBay and Facebook? So it's a bad idea on eBay. It's a bad idea on eBay because that's the norm. You have to accept returns, and you have to accept returns because eBay requires it. So you have to do that. On Facebook Marketplace, returns aren't allowed technically for buyer's remorse, so that's the norm. So yeah, I just do what's the norm. On eBay, you have to do it. On Facebook, you don't do it. With that said, though, if a customer wants to return an item on Facebook, I just always let them. I think that's good customer service. I want to avoid chargebacks. I want to avoid negative reviews. So I think it just makes sense. No, the plugin, the Chrome extension does not copy from Facebook Marketplace. Actually, I'm not understanding your question. You can use it to add products to Facebook Marketplace or to eBay, but it doesn't copy products from Facebook Marketplace, if that's what you're asking. Is there a way to increase profit margins using Walmart, or should I start using suppliers like Wayfair or wholesale? So Walmart if you have products that you're selling, I guess is what you're asking, like you have products that you're selling and you want to sell those same products but make more money. The only way you can do that is by raising your prices. There's really no sort of discounts available for Walmart. You could look around for some discounted gift cards. You can get the Walmart cash back card, which will save you some money as well. But otherwise, there's no like secret thing with Walmart. That's what you're asking. But certainly you can go somewhere like Wayfair wholesale. Yeah, Gaston, you can do this. You can use your main eBay, same answer as before. Okay, there may not be a need for you to have like separate accounts secret from each other. But if that's what you're trying to do, then yeah, use like a family member's account. But anything can link them together. Like if you go to her house and access your main eBay account from her house, same IP address, then those things can get linked up. You might want to set up like a virtual machine for that or something. Gets tricky. What to do if a product is out of stock, says Mohammed. So if an item goes out of stock and you haven't sold it, no big deal. AutoDS is just going to update it on eBay to mark it as out of stock so you don't sell it. Now, if you've sold it already and now you go to fulfill that order and you find out it's out of stock, oh, looks like my mic battery is dying. If that happens, then what you want to do is try to find the item somewhere else on another website. And if you're unable to find it on another website, ask the customer if they want something similar. Say, hey, I have a bunch of similar stuff. Would you want this one instead? Because the last one that I had got damaged. Walmart, I'm not sure. Did you ask like I'm not sure what your previous, I'm kind of lost with your question, the beginning of it, what you're referring to. So maybe we can clarify there. I have multiple accounts on eBay. I was wondering if I should use my personal or the new account. Just use whatever account you have. Like it doesn't matter really. Yeah, just use the account you have. I wouldn't set up a new account. That's what you're asking. eBay allows you to have multiple accounts, but you don't want to set up too many of them. Which supplier is better, AliExpress, CJ Dropshipping, or Spocket? I've never used Spocket. I like CJ Dropshipping better than AliExpress. I just like their customer service and the way they ship out items to customers better than AliExpress. Yeah. It is certainly possible to make a living off of eBay and Facebook dropshipping. Having multiple side hustles is really ideal. So you can kind of like get a little bit from this source, a little bit from this source, a little bit from this source, and like that all together, can be enough for you to live off of. It's definitely possible. What do you suggest for a complete beginner? I was thinking of AliExpress to eBay dropshipping, but I'm unsure. I wouldn't go that route. Honestly, eBay dropshipping is definitely where I would start. Dropshipping on eBay. It's definitely the most beginner friendly, very simple to get started, very kind of easy to wrap your head around. But dropshipping from AliExpress, as just like I said earlier in this live, it's not great because you're gonna have long shipping times. If you're gonna do it, use US warehouses, but that kind of limits the number of products and increases the prices of them. So do eBay dropshipping, but use suppliers that are based here in the United States, like Walmart, Home Depot, even Amazon, if you don't use Prime, or even wholesale suppliers, although that gets a little bit more challenging. For AutoDS fulfillment, it costs me about $7 per order to use AutoDS auto fulfillment for Amazon. Is there a cheaper way to automate it? Yeah, that sounds a bit high. I would check. I'm not sure why it's so high for you, $7. But you can also check out Arbiship, is another one that does Amazon to eBay dropshipping automation for order fulfillment, I should say. No, You got to do the work yourself. No one's going to give you the items to sell. And if they do, then they're giving it to a bunch of other people or selling it to a bunch of other people, and it's not going to work. So you do got to do it yourself. How can I build my feedback on eBay so they don't suspend me? Well, let's unpack that. eBay is not going to suspend you for bad feedback. Feedback is your rating that buyers give you based on how well the sale happened. So they're not going to suspend you for having no feedback, or even, it sounds like what you're saying, that you don't have feedback. So yeah, they're not going to suspend you for having no feedback. Now, it's always a good idea to have good feedback on eBay. It builds trust with buyers, so they're more willing to purchase from you. So to do that, obviously the easiest way to do it is to sell more products and to ask for feedback. If you ask them for feedback, then it increases the chances you're going to get it. But you can also buy products, and when you buy products, sellers will leave you feedback, and it all gets smushed together. So even if you've been buying stuff on eBay for 10 years, like stuff every single week, and you've never sold anything, you're still going to have a really big, strong feedback number. So when you start selling, all the buyers are going to see just that big, strong feedback number. So that's going to help as well. Hey, thanks, Borna. I appreciate it. That's the silver 100,000 subscriber play button. What should I do? I shipped an item to a customer. They want to return it, but it's my own item. I don't know how to cancel on eBay. Tell them to open up a return case. If they open up a return case, then it can go through that. They can get a return label through that, and then you can get your item back and they can get their refund. Thanks, I checked out Costway, not as good as Walmart, but very good. I'm a fan of non-API only because I'm not using the auto ordering. Even if you're not using auto ordering though, the API software is still easier, still a lot more powerful. You can easily list items with it. You can, it does the repricing of the items, and if the item goes in and out of stock, it does that just very seamlessly and easily, much easier than non-API software. So even if you're not doing auto fulfillment, I would still consider using API software because it's just gonna work a lot more seamlessly. No. Mr. Everything says, is it important to sell light items? Items that are light in weight. Yeah, it doesn't really matter for drop shipping. If you get free shipping on it, then that's all that matters. And most suppliers are going to give you free shipping. So the weight doesn't really matter. The weight, that question, I'm sure, stems from hearing about people who are drop shipping using Shopify. If you're selling on Shopify and you're drop shipping from like China, the weight can matter. So you will want to sell cheaper stuff that's just kind of easier to ship. But it doesn't matter for what we're doing because these retail stores like Walmart are shipping for us. What are your thoughts about Amazon FBA? What would you recommend for starting in e-commerce? I love Amazon FBA. You know, I'm not here to tell you that dropshipping is the only way to do it and everything else out there stinks and it's terrible. I have my opinions, but they're not that strong on it, right? I love dropshipping. I love eBay dropshipping. I think for beginners, it is probably the easiest place to start. So I guess I do have strong opinions on that. It's just very low overhead, very low cost, very kind of simple to grasp the concept. And I've seen so many people trying so many different online businesses like Amazon FBA, like Shopify. And the place that I've seen people have the most success is eBay dropshipping. And I think it's just because of the simplicity of it. It's not the most popular e-commerce model out there. Videos about Amazon FBA, about Shopify, do a lot better than videos about eBay dropshipping. The interest in those topics are much higher, but that doesn't mean that they're better. It doesn't mean that they actually work for most people. And what I see is that eBay dropshipping is a lot more attainable for people because it is just so simple. But I've made videos about Amazon FBA. I really like it, but not probably the kind you're thinking of. I haven't bought stuff from China and rebranded it as my own and then sold it on Amazon, like sent it into Amazon FBA. No, I've bought stuff from eBay. I bought stuff from like Nike.com. I had it delivered to my house, repackaged it, and sent it to Amazon. That's called that's called online arbitrage. I think it's a much better business model because you are selling brand items that are already popular and doing well. So if you're looking to start into Amazon FBA, that's the way I would do it. Check out my buddy Steve's program. It's called eBay to Amazon Masterclass. Check out some of his videos about it because that is without a doubt the simplest way I've ever found to do Amazon FBA. You're ordering cheap products from eBay. You're then selling them on Amazon with very low competition and very high markups. It's a no-brainer if you're looking for kind of like the most beginner-friendly way to get started with Amazon FBA, for sure. No, I found that doesn't hurt your account, Borna. So what happened to Borna was, well, it depends. So Borna says, one of my customers wanted to return their item, and I made the mistake of not checking my eBay messages. eBay intervened and returned the item back to my house. Is that going to hurt my account? So if the customer opened up a return case and you didn't respond to it and eBay had to step in, then you probably have a defect on your account, which if you get too many of those, it can hurt your account. You can get penalized. Sometimes they charge you more of a fee or different things on it. So you want to avoid that from happening. But if they just sent messages and then eBay intervened, you should check exactly what happened. Check if there's a return case. There's a chance you still have a defect. There's a small chance you don't. So just look out for that. Check for yourself. As long as you don't have a defect, then you're fine. But download the eBay app on your phone and turn on notifications so you get alerted when customers ask to return items or send you messages. Or at least go in and check every single day. Okay, we kind of went over this already, so I'm not going to do that again. How to promote my eBay listings. So, sorry, I went to the dentist this morning and my mouth's just really dry from it. How do you promote eBay listings? So, the first thing is you want to try to get as much organic traffic as possible because that's free. So that means you want to find good products to sell. You want to give them great titles. You want to use a really good main image. Maybe that's the one that everyone else is using. Maybe it's a different one. Maybe it's a whole new image, like in the video I'm going to make soon telling you how you can get brand new images for your eBay dropshipping products that no one else is using. So those are kind of ways to just organically stand out. Make sure you also have a good category as well. And then if you want to, after that, you can try promoted listings. Now I say try promoted listings because promoted listings can actually help your account, but they can actually hurt your account too. Let me explain. Most people don't know this. So the way promoted listings on eBay used to work, well, the way they've always worked is that if you have a product you're selling, you can start a promoted listing for that product, which means that if someone clicks on the promoted listing, which will be put higher in search results, then not only will you be charged a normal fee, but you'll also be charged an additional fee, the promoted listing fee. It's kind of like the price you're paying for advertising. Now, the way it used to work is that if you promoted a product, it could show up twice in the search results, once organically and once as a promoted listing. So that was really powerful. You've basically just doubled your chances of someone seeing your item and clicking on it. A couple of years ago, they changed it, and now you can only show up once in the search results. The problem with that is that if you were showing up on page 1 of the search results organically, then there's no point in paying to show up on page 1 of the search results because you're already showing up on page 1 of the search results. All that's going to happen is if you promote that item, then if someone clicks on it, you're going to get charged more for it than you were before. Or even worst case scenario, the customer has an ad blocker on and they're not even going to see your promoted listing at all. It won't show up in the search results at all because all promoted listings with ad blockers disappear. So if you were only showing up as a promoted listing and they're using an ad blocker, you're gone. So that's why I say try promoted listings. It could help, but it could hurt your account. So you kind of have to run a test for yourself. Have I ever used FBM Fox before? I have. I've used them for my Facebook shop. I think they're good software, but now I use AutoDS for most stuff now. Shay lost their shipping option. So you can appeal that. I forget where to do it, but you can appeal it and get it back. It's a bit of a process, but it's the same appeal process that you have to go through if you've been running ads on Facebook and then you have your ads account shut down. So if you've ever run ads, look in that area and the business manager for your ads because that could be the reason you lost your shipping option if you had your ads account shut down. Do you actually have to post items all day, every day? No. You just gotta be consistent and post some items every day. So the battery on my microphone is getting like really small. If it just cuts out, we're close enough to the end. I'm just gonna wave goodbye and see you guys next week. Just want to give you a heads up about that. But as long as it's still there, we're gonna keep going. Is there any good free dropshipping software like AutoDS? There is not. No, AutoDS comes with a $1 trial if you use my affiliate link, which is in the description, but there's nothing free out there. You get what you pay for, right? They have servers to run. They're always developing it and making it better. Something free doesn't exist, and it wouldn't have that anyway. Yeah, it should be. If you have an Amazon account that's not Prime, you should be able to dropship from it as long as you don't add Prime to it. Let's see. Yeah, you always want to start out slowly when starting dropshipping, whether you have a new account or an old account. Just list a couple of items a day for a few days, longer than that, like a week. Just a couple of items a day, 1 or 2, just to kind of get the whole kind of system primed, especially if you haven't sold in a while. And they can slowly start to ramp up, but you never want to come out the gate too quickly when it comes to dropshipping or selling on any marketplace for that matter. I don't boost listings on Facebook Marketplace. I think the organic reach on there is still good enough that it's not necessary to boost items. Exactly what I said. You want to scale slowly. If you scale too quickly, that's normally when people see problems. How do you recommend new dropshippers go about attracting customers for our store in 2023? Don't sell on your individual store. Sell on a marketplace like eBay, like Amazon, like Facebook Marketplace, like Etsy, because those places already have customers. You don't have to get people to visit the website. They're already there. Go where the customers already are, and then use basically SEO, search engine optimization, to have people that are on those websites searching for stuff actually find your items. I have tons of videos about how to do product research. I'm not going to talk through it because it's not very effective. You actually just check out some of those videos. Search for Paul eBay product research and on YouTube, and you're going to find a lot of videos I've made about it. What? I heard that it's not good to list a lot of items that I can dropship on eBay for multiple reasons. I'm not sure what you're asking, Will. Maybe you can like rephrase the question. It's kind of going over my head. I tried Shopify. It's like opening a shop on Mars. Yeah, if you don't know marketing, it's gonna be hard to get people to find your website. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, there's AutoDS and there's Arbiship. So AutoDS is AUTODS and Arbiship is ARBISHIP. Yeah, AutoDS works for Facebook Marketplace as well. So it does eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Amazon, Shopify, may even do Etsy, I don't know. There's a bunch of them. You can do product research manually. You don't need to pay for a software. It's just not going to be as effective. Again, check out some of my videos about this. Search for Paul, eBay, product research. And there are videos I've done with paid software like Zeek Analytics and ones I've done without Zeek Analytics. So you can see all of that. In the description, there is a link to try Zeek Analytics for free. So there's always kind of that option as well. Yeah, that's good. $10 profit for each item that's sold. Yeah, that's great. No, Amazon, if you use Amazon Prime to drop ship from, Amazon will shut down your Amazon Prime account. When you're selling on Facebook Marketplace, Mr. Everything, you're selling from your profile, not from a business page. So you don't want to be changing up your profile to make it look like a business. No, you want to be selling as an individual on Facebook Marketplace because that's what it's designed for. So you don't need to change up your pics or your bios unless there's something embarrassing in there. People can't click through and see your entire profile just because you have a listing on Facebook Marketplace either. Software like AutoDS. Yeah, so if you're using software like AutoDS to auto-fulfill orders, then tax exemption doesn't work. So that would be a good reason to use a virtual assistant because then the virtual assistant can order the items from you using your tax exempt account. There you go. You said something about listing multiple items a day as a new dropshipper. Does this mean we should update all of our eBay stores items daily? I'm not sure what you mean by update them daily, but ideally you want to be adding products on a regular basis to your eBay store. So whether that's a few products every day, a few products every other day, but it doesn't have to be every day. And you don't have to update your items in your store. You can just leave the ones that are already there and add new ones. All right, so that's the full hour. I'm gonna end it there because the battery is getting really low on my microphone. But I appreciate everyone asking such great questions. If you got any value out of it, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We'll do this every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks so much everyone for hanging out and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.